go through the question, it says petty cash transactions of Guyon's business are as follows. Come up with the petty cash payment journal and the relevant ledger accounts, right. Okay. So, what they ask us to do is they ask us to come up with the petty cash payment journal, and also they want us to come up with the relevant ledger accounts, right. So, this is the petty cash payment journal, right. So, what is the first transaction? So, right. So, they have received. So, the received cash from main cash. So, the petty cash cashier has received 2000 from the main cashier. So, then on the 1st of August, there is a transaction, the voucher number is 1, it is pertaining to stationery, it is 200. So, what does this mean is, the date is 1st of August 20, let us say 2019 or somewhere, let us say 2019, and the voucher number is 1001, they have given it, and the description is the stationery, okay, so stationery. So, the amount is 200. So, then we need to, in the analysis column, we need to look at this 200 is pertaining to stationery, postage, travelling or refreshment or miscellaneous. So, we know that they have given it as stationery, it is 200. So, it is not postage, not travelling, not refreshment, not miscellaneous. So, ledger account means, I will tell you those later, we will look at the ledger account means. So, there are certain transactions, there will be certain transactions which will go for a particular ledger account. So, if you take, so this will not go for any ledger account. So, this is an expense. So, simply this is an expense. So, if you go to the next one, it is travelling. So, I am not going to write the date. So, you can easily write the date, and voucher number I will write, it is 002 and it is travelling 60. So, we know that it is travelling. So, it is not it will not go for a ledger account. So, it is simply an expense. So, not something else. So, we know that these two are small expenses. So, this is our expenses. So, let us say you are going to pay some amount from your petty cash journal, you are going to pay some amount from your petty cash till to a creditor. So, you are going to settle a creditor from your petty cash account. So, those kind of things will go for a ledger account. So, as a ledger account, it will appear here. So, those will not come under stationery, postage, travelling, refreshment, miscellaneous. No, let us say you are paying for a creditor, then it will come under a ledger account. So, let us say you are paying some amount for carriage inwards. What do you mean by the carriage inwards? So, when you are purchasing some goods, the raw material cost, let us say the raw material cost is 100,000, and in order to bring those to the warehouse, you are going to incur another 1000. So, that 1000 amount you are going to pay from the petty cash. So, that 1000 is called carriage inwards, and that is coming under ledger account, a separate ledger account. So, those are not stationery, postage, travelling, refreshment or miscellaneous, those will come under a separate ledger account, right. Then next one is refreshment. Refreshment amount is 250. So, next one is candles. Candles, they have bought some candles 150. we do not know whether it is stationery, whether postage, travelling, refreshment, we do not know whether why they have bought candles. So, it will come under miscellaneous. And also it is not something directly related to the business. So, those things are coming under miscellaneous. So, the ledger accounts, so those the items appear under ledger accounts will be directly related to the main business. So, you are paying for a creditor, you are paying for carriage inwards. So, those kind of things will come under separate ledger account, right. Next one, stamps 100. So, we can say it is stationery, or we can say it is postage, right. And paper sheets 110, you can put those 110, paper sheet means stationery. Tea leaves 90, it should be coming under refreshment. Paid to Sagara, paid to Sagara. So, now you can see who is Sagara. Sagara must be a creditor for the business or a payable for the business. So, we are paying some amount to Sagara from our petty cash. So, that means it is not stationery, not postage, not travelling, not refreshment, not miscellaneous. So, it is directly related to the main business. We are paying for a payable. So, that 300 will appear in the ledger account. So, this is payment of a payment to a payable. So, it is a payment to a payable. So, then vehicle parking 50. So, 0, it should be somewhere you can put as travelling or miscellaneous. So, we will put under miscellaneous, or we can put it under travelling. So, it is due to the travelling, yes, you ask parking is rising due to travelling, yes, you can argue, right. And envelopes, yes, postage, envelope amount is 120. Then carriage inwards. So, we know that what the meaning of carriage inward is. When you are buying raw materials, you are paying for the material, let us say 100,000, carriage inwards means in order to bring those to a warehouse, you have to spend some amount. So, carriage inwards, it is 260. So, this is something directly related to the main business. So, 260 will come under ledger account. So, this is an expense, main expense, and we know that carriage inwards will reflect in the cost of sales. And some miscellaneous items 40. So, these are the transactions. So, we can see, so these are the petty cash payments. So, the total will come into 1730 and the stationery would be 310, you can see the summation, and the postage you can see 220, yes, it is correct, 100 plus 120, and the travelling would be 110, yes, and refreshments it's 250 plus 90, 340, and here you will get 250 and 40, 290, right. So, and also the summation of ledgers ledger accounts are 560. So, this is the petty cash payment journal. So, what can we say about? So, these are certain expenses, right. So, these can be regarded as certain expenses. So, if you were asked to calculate, if you are asked to come up with the ledger accounts, so that is one part of your question, right. So, the ledger accounts would be, these will be coming under, so all these are expenses, right, expenses. So, I will say these will go for the expenses accounts. So, we will draw like this: stationery, stationery is petty cash, it is 310, and postage it is, we know it is a debit entry, right. Why? It is an expense, 220 should go to postage, and travelling, debit and credit, the charge would be 110, and the miscellaneous expenses would be 290 petty cash. So, these are the expenses accounts. So, these are the expenses accounts in the ledger. So, other than these, so what we are having also is, we are having something called carriage inward. So, this is some kind of expense, right. So, carriage inward is also an expense. So, it will also appear in the ledger account. We will see. So, carriage inward is also an expense account. So, the amount would be 300. Right. So, these are the expense accounts you will see in our ledger. So, other than these, so if you draw the cash account, so what can you say about the cash account? So, if you draw the cash account, it will look like this. So, at the beginning of the period, how much you are getting? From your main cash account, you are going to get 2000. So, I am drawing the petty cash account. So, you will be getting 2000, and during that period, you have already spent 1730. So, 1730 you are going to spend. So, expenses 1730. So, this is the petty cash account you will see in the ledger. So, the cash amount is 2000 and the expenses would be 1730. So, you will see the remaining amount in your the petty cash till is 2000 minus 1730, it is 270. So, these are the accounts that will go to the ledger. And also, so we forgot one thing, this the payment to Sagara, this one. So, we forgot that the Sagara is we know that Sagara is a payable, we do not know his balance, so let us say balance we do not know, we have to pay some amount to him, but we are paying him 260. So, from petty cash we are paying 260. So, the whatever the outstanding balance or whatever the liability we are having towards Sagara will be coming down by 260. So, that is what it mean by this. So, these are the accounts that will appear in the ledger, right. So, this will be the answer for your questions, the particular question.